Hey guys, my name's JJ, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you guys can pay off your mortgage early. But first, before we get into the tips and tricks of how to really pay off your mortgage this fast, I want to talk about why should you even focus on paying off your mortgage? Why should this be a goal of yours? Well, first, the first thing you want to do before you even start thinking about paying off your mortgage is to make sure that you have all of your other consumer debt paid off. I'm talking about credit cards, car loans, student loans, any other type of consumer debt that you may have, medical loans. You want to make sure those are paid off first before you start paying off your mortgage, because typically not only is your mortgage going to be the lowest interest rate, but it's also going to have the longest time frame for you to pay that back in. Now, I'm actually going to go over 5 ways in today's video of how you can pay off your mortgage in just 5 to 7 years, or maybe a little longer depending on how much of a mortgage you actually have in your real life. But we are going to get into that in today's video. So first, why in the hell should you even pay off your mortgage early, or why should this be a goal of yours? Well, let's think about this for a second. It's a Tuesday morning, and instead of having to press your snooze button 600 times on your cell phone, wake up early, get dressed in uncomfortable clothes, hop in your car, sit in rush hour traffic all morning, get to the office, sit at a job that you honestly typically, let's be honest, don't really enjoy doing, and just to get back in your car at the end of the day, sit in rush hour traffic on the way back home, to finally get home, spend maybe a few hours with your family, go to bed to wake up the next morning to do it all over again. Sounds fun, don't it? No, not really. But here's the thing. If you get all of that personal debt paid off, you get your mortgage paid off, you will have the freedom to make decisions to where if you want to make a change in your life where you don't want to have to live that lifestyle, you don't have to do that. That is why so many people nowadays choose or are choosing to pay off their debts, to pay off their mortgage, because they don't want to have to work 40, 50, 60, 80 hours a week to make those payments just to live their lifestyle. If you can get those payments paid off, if you can live a debt-free life, there is so many more choices you can make to live a better lifestyle. Now, for example, my wife and I, we are on our own journey of paying off our mortgage. We have probably about a year and a half left until our mortgage is paid off. And if you guys are interested in following our journey, we're going to be making update videos here on the YouTube channel talking about where we're at and how much longer and the day that we actually do pay off our mortgage. And when that mortgage is paid off, by making extra income through side hustles, through investing in real estate, and many other different revenues of income that we make and generate, we will be able to make the decision if we want to quit our day job, to live a lifestyle where we can go to our son or daughter's, a field trip on elementary school, or if we want to go travel for 2 weeks at a time. We don't have to worry about asking our company for those 2 weeks off and then pressuring us saying, no, you can't take that time off because you have a job to do. Now, in today's video, I'm actually going to be going over 5 tips or tricks to help you pay off your mortgage in just 5 to 7 years. Now, this could be quicker. It could be a little longer, depending on how big of a mortgage you have, what your income looks like. But these 5 tips will definitely help you pay off your mortgage faster than the 30-year term that you have set right now. So like I mentioned, my wife and I are actually on this journey right now, and if you guys follow me on Instagram at JJ Buckner, I'll make updates every now and then showing you our little debt-free sheet and how much longer we have until our mortgage is actually paid off. Right now we're actually around the 25 or a little bit more above the 25% mark, but we are looking to, let's just say, make a lot of extra payments here in the future. We are hoping to have our mortgage paid off in about a year to a year and a half. And then once that is done, we have some big, very big goals to do in life. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. And if you don't mind, hit that like button because that really does help out the channel. So without further ado, let's quickly get into these 5 tips of just how you can pay off your mortgage early. And the first one is to buy a house much less than you can afford. Now, for example, when my wife and I bought the house that we are living in right now, we could have, I'll be honest with you, we had plans. We actually had a lot purchased to build our forever dream home on. We had the goal to buy this piece of property, which we did, and we were going to build our forever dream home on this piece of property. Now, when we were going to do that, our mortgage was going to be a lot of a percent of our income. It was going to be more than 50% of our income. And I was thinking about this. I was thinking about the lifestyle we wanted to have. And I told my wife, I said, babe, I said, I would much rather have the freedom to go travel or to go to my son's field trips or have the choice to do what I want to do and not be tied down to this mortgage payment. So that was whenever we made the decision to buy a house that was way under what we could afford. Now, the second tip is to have a very big down payment. Now, I am a firm believer in if you cannot come up with 20% for a down payment, you probably shouldn't be buying the house. I would say first and foremost, come up with 20% because one reason is because you don't have to pay PMI is if you have 20% down to put down on a house. Now, PMI is private mortgage insurance, and I'll be 100% honest with you. PMI is typically taking a couple $100 bills, depending on how big your mortgage is, and throwing it out the window. So by all means, if you can stay away from PMI, that is a big benefit you have by putting in a larger down payment of 20% or higher. Now, my wife and I actually put down a 25% down payment on this house, which in return not only got us out of paying PMI, but it also got us a lower interest rate because the more money you can put down up front, the less that bank is going to charge you on an interest rate. And then in return, that's less money you're going to pay over the lifetime of your mortgage in interest, and more money you get to pay on your principal, which in return gives you more money in your pocket. Now, the third tip is to set a goal. Now, this is when you're in the home, you've already purchased it, you and the wife or you and the husband sit down and you guys have this talk or this plan set out of how you're going to attack this mortgage payoff and how you're going to pay it off early. So, for example, maybe starting off your goal is to make an extra $100 payment every single month towards the mortgage. And then once you get that going and you see that it's pretty easy to make those extra $100 payments, maybe you up it to $200. And then you up it to $300, and then you up it to $500 because you're going to want to start making all this extra money and saving monies in different places to where you can apply that to the mortgage because you're going to start seeing that snowball effect. You're going to start seeing that payoff rate coming up that much faster and seeing that mortgage becoming that much lower, knowing that that end is in sight. So the fourth tip is to live a frugal lifestyle. Now, guys, I'm not sitting up here trying to tell you to live cheap. I'm not telling you to not go buy your Starbucks coffee. I'm not telling you to not go buy you some new shoes every now and then. I'm not saying to be cheap. I'm saying to be frugal. Now, one of the best ways you can live a frugal lifestyle is there's three ways that us Americans spend the majority of our money. And that is our home or living expenses, our travel or our vehicles, transportation expenses, and then our food or grocery expenses. If you can lower your expenses in each one of those categories, you will be so much farther ahead than the typical American, and all that extra money you save up from buying a home that is less than you can afford, not buying brand new cars every 2, 3, 4 years, and buying used, maybe cars that have 50, 60,000 miles on them that you're getting a deal on, you can pay cash for. And one of the best ways to save money for when it comes to food is to taking your lunch to work. Now, I know it's probably going to be hard whenever all the coworkers come up to you and say, hey, you going out to eat? We're going out to so-and-so, which is your favorite restaurant, but you got your lunch packed in the fridge. If you just say no, think about what you can do with that extra $10, $15. What I have done actually on some days is I have actually applied that extra $10, $15, $20 that I knew I was going to spend on lunch for work and went ahead and put it right towards the principal on my mortgage. Those are just little ways that you can apply that money to your mortgage to account for those ways to get it paid off that much faster. Now, tip number 5 is to make extra payments. Now, I already mentioned that a little bit here in this video, but I'm actually going to take you guys onto the computer and we're going to look at a real-time mortgage payoff calculator and just see what an extra $100, $500, $1,000, $2,000 extra a month towards your mortgage, towards your principal, can do to your lifetime interest savings, to your lifetime mortgage payment, and just how fast you can pay off your mortgage. Okay, so this is actually an additional payments calculator that you can use to figure out just how much time you're saving when you add an extra certain amount of money towards your mortgage. Now, if you guys are interested in using your own mortgage amounts, I will leave the link to this calculator down in the description. But for today's video, I'm going to be using my own example of how much I have on my mortgage and how much it's going to take me to pay off using just adding an extra $100 or $500 or $1,000, and we're going to see how much time that actually saves me in paying off my mortgage. So right now, the total home loan I have on my personal mortgage is $114,000. My annual interest rate is 3.25%. Now, the start date of your mortgage, you can kind of honestly set that up to whatever. We'll just put it to, I don't know, January of 19 right now just to make it easy. And then we'll just change this down here to say that we're adding our additional payment the same day that our start date of our mortgage is. Now, again, you can change this. You can kind of make this whatever you feel like, whatever works for you, but we'll run with this for now in today's example. Okay, so what we're going to start with in the additional payment amount is just $100, and we're going to see exactly what that can do over the lifespan of my mortgage example. So right now, without the $100 extra payment a month, it's saying that my monthly payment is $800, and my total interest that I will pay is just over $30,000 over a 15-year span. Now, with the extra monthly payment of $100, I'm paying the $901.04, and then I'm saving a total, or my interest paid is $25,770. So as you can see down here, the advantage of the extra $100 a month is I'm actually saving 2 full years of my mortgage. So instead of that costing me 15 years to pay it off, just adding $100 saves me 2 years of my mortgage. So it's only going to take me 13 years to pay my mortgage off. And I'm also saving about $4,500 worth of interest. Now let's bump up here back again, and let's go push this up here. We'll just add a 0, and let's see what an extra $1,000 does to this mortgage payment. So that makes a monthly payment of $1,800, and I will only be paying $11,000 in interest. So my time saved is just over 9 years. That is incredible. That's only 6 years I have left of my mortgage, which falls right into that 5 to 7 years, and I have a total savings of interest in $19,000. So that gets back to what I'm saying, to find that 5 to 7 year mark of how fast you can pay off your mortgage. If you're buying a home that is less than you can afford, you're not spending your max dollar to go buy this big fancy home. This is where you can make up your time. This is where you can make up your savings. I mean, look, if you even bump this up to $1,500, not $11,500, $1,500, I'm saving 10.5 years. It would take me 4.5 years to pay off my mortgage. Absolutely insane, guys. So this calculator is huge, and it is also very motivating to let you know if you're shopping for homes, or if you can plug in your mortgage, if you actually live in a personal home or you have a mortgage right now. It's very motivating to see, okay, well, if I can just come up with $1,500 extra dollars or $100 extra dollars or $1,000 extra dollars by maybe not going out to eat at lunch, or maybe selling the truck and buying maybe a little lesser of truck, or spending more money on cars, etc. You guys know what I'm talking about here. This could be a huge difference. This is everything right here. So really, guys, what this all boils down to is paying off your mortgage early creates freedom. If you have your mortgage paid off, you have no other bills to pay besides, I understand, insurance and taxes and whatnot. But it gives you the freedom to maybe take a little lesser stressful job, or it maybe gives you the freedom to take a little extra time off to go travel or to go see the world or to spend more time with your kids. It's what's most important in this life, because, guys, we only get one life to live, so you might as well live your best life possible. If that means saving a little money up front to pay off that mortgage, to have that much freedom in the future, then by God, I would highly recommend doing that. But guys, I hope you all enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys got something out of it. And until the next one, I hope you all take care.